Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Rick, and this tutorial is on how to get outside. Now, I went to the Mallard Lake Forest Preserve yesterday, and it was nice because the parking lot was spaced out, but it was full. So I'm an avid hiker. In fact, join me on my excursion because I'm still planning it in August. I'm going to Colorado, and I'm taking a select group of people. We'll be training starting now because of a friend of mine, Dan, saying that he was going to start walking. I thought, hey, you know what? If I can't go to the gym, might as well start training for Colorado. But here's the thing. When you go to Forest Preserve, you have to maintain trash. Whatever you bring in, you bring out too. And sometimes with receptacles, everybody touching them, you still have to have gloves. So you still have to have gloves even if you're in a forest preserve, especially if you have a doggy. When you open up handles for the bathroom or you dump trash, you have to protect yourself. But more importantly, when it comes to this time of year, now it's about 36 degrees in Bartlett, Illinois, so mosquitoes are dormant. But this weekend is supposed to be hot. With the water that I just passed through and the bodies of lake or bogs, they're called bogs around here, or creeks, usually with stagnant water you're going to have a lot of mosquitoes. And I hate to say it, I know we've got the corona family virus, but we have to worry about West Nile virus now. So what I wanted to do was, and I've posted this I believe in old videos, but I'll give you my take on what to use. I think I'll go off trail. This is something that you're not supposed to do in your local forest preserve. You're supposed to stay on the path. But in a small community lake like this, it's allowed to go off the trail. That's the pathway there, or trail. But in forest preserves, the rules are you stay on trail so you don't trample some of the very delicate grass. I think it's called trillium that deers depend on. So stay on trail and pick up your trash. But in the case where we are going into areas where mosquitoes are probably going to be blossoming soon, I would suggest you do a couple things. Now this is off. This is botanical off. It's one of my go-tos. However, my favorite is going to be, because I don't like DEET, D-E-E-T. I think it does repel insects nicely, especially if you're in an area that's infested, but side effects are high. It does work, but you have to be careful. This is my favorite. So it does not have any DEET. The thing in with this though, I've packed this on trips to national forests. This can actually melt plastic, or it erodes plastic. I shouldn't say melt. So you have to be careful about having it leak. So put it in a Ziploc and maintain integrity of the bag, especially when it's in your suitcase. For times when you don't have anything, or you've sprayed and you still are bitten, my favorite to stop the irritation from a bite is peppermint. So if you apply peppermint because of its evaporative essence, peppermint plant seems to diffuse fast. It distracts the skin so you don't scratch as much, which is nice. Because in the middle of the night when you start scratching, even if you have a mosquito bite over here, the other one over here becomes itchy because of the mast cell response. So peppermint, dab of it on the mosquito bump or the area of itch, or ice pack. If you get an ice pack, frozen peas from the freezer, you put it on the area that's itchy, it'll take the bite out and make you stop itching or scratching. This is, I think that with the coronavirus around, you're going to have more people going outside, which is kind of cool. I love taking people on hikes. I think there's great value in nature therapy. which is a thing. It's also called Japanese forest bathing. And you still have to practice social distancing, and you still have to keep the grounds safe, but we pay for the forest preserve maintenance in Illinois with our taxes, so might as well take advantage of it. It's also deep into the season. You might want to get one of these. This is headgear. Try to do this with one hand. It's a mosquito net, so it looks kind of goofy, but if you run into a swarm of mosquitoes, let me just open this up. Though this goes around my head like this. Unfortunately, I can't do it with one hand. Yes, I'll try. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So it goes all the way around. The ring up top, aluminum ring, is kind of good, kind of cool. This will lay around your neck and it'll stop mosquitoes from touching your face, which is what we have to do with coronavirus. But the rest of your body will be open to biting. That's why long sleeves are important. Exposed areas like this, back of the neck, if this doesn't come down long enough or low enough, it would be important to protect, because some mosquitoes do carry something called the West Nile virus, and it's a different virus than corona. It's called a flavivirus, kind of like hepatitis, and tough to deal with. Usually doesn't result in too much of a problem, except for headaches. Headaches, fevers, and chills, body aches are terrible with that. So, won't kill you, most likely, but it's still, you don't want to have that on top of this next few months to years of corona. So, yeah, years. So, it's important to protect. Also, when you're in a forest preserve, it's probably a good idea to have your water. So I always say, especially if you're going to be going out and you're a slow walker or hiker, have your water, because it's going to get hot sooner or later. Right now it's not there, but I think with Chicago, spring will come fast, and when it does, we'll be feeling a little better. I don't know how long this will last. I assume it's going to be the next couple weeks, but while we're still not able to work out and have a haircut and go mingle, I think it's important to take advantage of what's available right around the corner. And in Illinois, it's forest preserves. If you've ever come across any of those green signs, pull in and see how it is. Take a stroll, and you'll see that it is kind of peaceful, as long as we maintain the cleanliness of the area. So hopefully this gives you a couple of ideas about what to do and how to protect. If you are going to consider hiking with me, I'll be doing social distancing, but while I'm training for Colorado, I'll probably organize a couple of small groups, less than 5, as the corona starts to abate. And we'll hit local forest preserves near Bartlett, my office, and then probably Starved Rock, and maybe culminate at Devil's Lake. Devil's Lake is in Wisconsin. Probably one of the nicest bluffs that you can get to without driving too far away. So if you have any ideas for what you guys use, please put them down below. Oh, one more thing. I hate to say it, it's also going to be tick season, especially if you go off trail, which you're not supposed to do, or if you go around here. But this is nice for spraying onto clothing. You spray this the night before, you let it dry, and it usually will cause the ticks, the creepy crawlies, not to hook onto your shoes, your boots, your pants. So I did a video once, I'll see if I can put it down below, where I went to St. James Farm just for probably 15 minutes, and I picked up a tick, and he ended up on the middle of my back, and unfortunately it was a Lyme tick. So, and that was with protective gear and spray. So, oh no, I didn't spray that day, unfortunately. I thought it was too cold to spray, so don't be fooled. So be careful. We want to enjoy other things. I think the world and universe is telling us to, look at that. That's the trash I was talking about. That's terrible. Maybe it was a squirrel that brought it here, but universe is telling us to slow down, maybe take advantage of nature, and this is definitely nature. And this is slowing down, so there's benefits. I'm going to get into my office now and probably take care of some sick people, but at least with my 15 minutes or however long this is of being in nature, it'll help me start the day with a good attitude because of the serotonin. Serotonin, oxytocin, they all make you feel good. The fact that I accomplished this in a short amount of time, dopamine, makes you feel good. If you don't feel good and you just stay indoors, it can be challenging. So put your comments down below as we talked about. Subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I'll see you at the next tutorial.